The Senate recently passed comprehensive immigration reform, but now the House is in the process of taking it all apart. One measure under consideration is what's being called the KIDS Act, legislation creating a pathway to citizenship for children of undocumented immigrants. Here in the studio with us is Jacqueline Espisito. She is with the New York City Immigration Coalition, and Francisco Heredia, National Field Director for Mi Familia Vota, is joining us on the phone. Francisco, are you there? And thank you so much for being with us.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, I appreciate it, Jacqueline, again, and thank you to you as well. Let me start with you, Jacqueline, if I may. Tell me, what is this KIDS Act and how is it different than the DREAM Act?
Well, it's a great question. And part of the challenge we face is the bill hasn't been introduced yet. There was a hearing in the House of Representatives this week to talk about some of the issues of facing Dreamers, but the bill itself has not been introduced. We suspect that the bill will address Dreamers in some way, but will not address the 11 million, which is why we are opposed to the measure.
And I want to bring you in now, Francisco. Talk about why this, why the KIDS Act, or what this DREAM Act might turn out to be. Talk about why it is so important and has such great meaning for families of illegal immigrants.
Well, I think what Jacqueline was explaining, we're not sure what it will have because the bill hasn't been introduced yet. We believe, a couple weeks ago, the House Republican leadership, voted to defund DACA, which was an unprecedented step. So, with this KIDS Act, the hearing that they had this week, it is a promising foot forward, but we think it's something else. We think it's a thinly veiled attempt to provide political cover on the issue of immigration reform. Our community wants a comprehensive look and solution to this broken immigration system, and Americans want this, or overwhelming Latinos want this. So, we want to make sure that we are not leaving an underclass of folks that are not able to have a pathway to citizenship. But we look forward to the debate and see what happens in the next several weeks.
Indeed. Jacqueline, it's been so interesting. It took a while for the Senate to pass a bill that they could agree upon. A lot of things that were considered important by pro-reformers were stripped away to get it through. And of course, the House has said, we're not going to go with the Senate's bill. We're going to write our own. In a more general, global way, do you believe our legislators, particularly the Republican Party, do they get it, that what is at stake for the entire country with this reform?
Well, the issue is some Republicans certainly do get it. Certainly the Republicans who were part of the Senate drafting process understood the need to address the immigration crisis in this country. They understand that the vast majority of Americans, in poll after poll, support comprehensive immigration reform. They support a path to citizenship for the 11 million. So I think the answer to that question is yes. However, there are some extremists, like we saw Stephen King.
Representative Peter King.
Stephen King from Iowa.
Oh, yes.
From
okay.
Iowa,
yes.
From Iowa this week, make horribly, hateful comments about Dreamers. And so one of the tensions that we're facing is that there are some Republicans who want to stand up. They want to do the right thing. They want to pass comprehensive immigration reform. They know it's the right thing for the country. They know it's the right thing for their party. And yet we have some extremists who are sort of holding the process hostage.
So what is the way forward then I want both of you to respond to this. And I guess since you were just talking, Jacqueline, let me go back to you, Francisco. What is the way forward to ensure that a immigration reform bill that is substantive and relevant can be passed and become law?
Well, right now it's, like you mentioned, the Senate passed comprehensive immigration reform. There are some items there, such as the quote-unquote border surge there that was hard to stomach, but we understood that, there was a bipartisan approach and the political reality that we have here. Now it's up to the House to give us a vote on immigration reform with a pathway to citizenship. There's August recess coming up, and we have events all throughout the country to ensure that, several Republicans have come out with support of immigration reform, but we want to make sure that they hear from their constituents in the 5 weeks that they're going to be at home in their districts, to ensure that once they come back, that they solve this broken immigration system and they move forward with a bill and pass it, and then moves on to conference committee, where hopefully a bill that provides pathway to citizenship is intact and it gets to the president's desk.
Jacqueline, where's your optimism level, 1 to 10, on whether or not we'll get a bill that means something?
This is the year for immigration reform. We're going to do it. We're going to get relief for the 11 million. I'm confident that we're going to push it through.
All right, Jacqueline Esposito, Francisco Heredia, thank you both for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And this is Arise America.